Hey guys, hello. So we had a conversation before that I ordered 4G LTE modem, which you can see it came. It's working, yes, with antenna. It's not that cheap, like I paid over £18 for the modem itself, yes. So yeah, you need to wait what you want to use it for, yes. If you try to do it as cheap as possible, sometimes like for prototyping you always overpay sooner or later, yes? So I just used to it. Can I do it cheaper? Yes, I can do it cheaper. There are cheaper modems, and if I would like to build a bridge now, which is in between our CRM and our CRM between the SIM card, I need to keep few things in mind. First foremost, the carrier doesn't like you to automate anything. It's domestic use only, so low volume sending, not 24/7. It's okay. When you reach certain point, you need to ask yourself, do you really want to proceed this way or risk the SIM card being blocked? So for small business, for I would say tens of SMSs per day, not hundreds of SMSs per day, that might be the solution. One, you've got one SIM card in your modem, which you can activate your business WhatsApp on it, or WhatsApp, depending which one route you will choose. Like in our CRM, you can use business WhatsApp, and you can use SMS. So in that case, have an Inte bridge. That means ESP32 here plus modem. I had to add capacitor because you can Google on the internet, people are writing that. It's fine for debugging, it's fine for writing code, it's fine for doing everything here. The minute you try to send, you get lack of power, the juice is not there. So I added the capacitor 470 microfarads, and now it's fine. So my system, my bench power supply is showing 0.25 watts most of the time, 5 volts, 0.050 to 100 amperes, yes. And every so often there are bursts to about 1.1 amperes, but it just like burst and then down. So probably the capacitor is discharging, or it's trying to communicate with the world, and then it's the burst. I see not even 1.2. The internet is saying up to 2 amps, and so I've read in the comments on the product I bought that the best way is just to put 470, and then on the internet you can find as well. And then when I was doing with Claude the firmware, Claude said to add the capacitor, which I already had. Yes, so yay. But anyways, so the firmware on this was wrote by Claude. I've checked what is over there because I always add the description. If there is none, I ask Claude to add description so I can read the code even if I don't understand it fully. And what Claude did was that he's initiating the device, and then only then when it's properly booted it's communicating with the modem, and using 4G network as well to communicate with our CRM. There is a token, and token is per company ID, so every tenant, every of our business customers, yes, has their own account separated, and then each customer, before the SMS is coming into the CRM, is identified by this bridge. And then in the UI, you can see the SMS coming in. So let's switch first to the scene. You can see here is the module I have. I bought it with antenna, so I bought this module. And there is a fee as well, so you can see I paid for it $18.82, yes. It would be dear, but there was this £2 discount, so it's fine, yes. So that's all good. Now, you need ESP32. You don't need necessarily with antenna or with anything. It it does use 4G network on the modem, so you pretty much don't care. Yes, and sometimes you can find them cheaper, sometimes dearer. I had room 32D. Yes, so I had actually, you know, module ESP32 module, which I didn't have to care about. And there are cheaper options, like here you can see. I'll click on it. You see for 854, and that's E. Yes, so we need this one, and I'm planning to buy those. There is shipping, of course, and if you will add, it will increase as well. So I want to buy 2 for now, and then there are antennas. Well, there is no antenna here, okay? And I don't want to build antenna myself. Maybe later, if we will go for like more volume, I can then order PCB and just, you know, like do 100 of those antennas. Yes, not a problem. For now, no, for now it's fine. Now here I can show you the content, and let me only verify that you see, yes, you see CRM. You can see the notification comes when you receive SMS, and you can type hello YouTubers. Yes, and that message will come in less than 1 minute to my mobile phone. Okay, let me switch to the camera. Okay, and it came. I don't know if that will catch. Might see it, might not, because I know it's distance. So hello back. Okay, I wrote hello back, and let's switch to CRM again. Scene, it's here, and then takes about, oh, you see already wrote hello back. The notification, I see that it didn't come, but it's coming as well. Yes, so what it is that, oh, now what it is that there are certain things which you might say working out of the box better, but when you develop something like we connect hardware with firmware, we've connected printers, scanners, yes, and so on. So yeah, when you're connecting hardware, you find bugs on the way. Yes, it's impossible that you will find all the bugs immediately. But it is snappy. It's less than a minute of work, about, I would say about 30 seconds, maybe not even 30 seconds, to send and to receive. And now with every booking, yes, we're doing, we can use SMS, not only WhatsApp, which is a nice feature, yes, because we've got email integrated, we've got AIs integrated through MCP, so they can call tools, certain tools, they can do certain actions, which you will allow them. You don't have to allow them to everything, but my focus was to use tools for bookings. And now SMS and WhatsApp are fully integrated. I use WhatsApp for several months and I'm happy, and our customers started to use it and it's fine. So now SMS. Per SMS, I can tell you that my idea is to offer 2 things for customers. One is Inte.box, which is this SMS box. Then customer can have just this box with one battery, like 18650 or something, which is a boost here, and plug it into power to main. So the battery is pretty much as our standby if the power would go down, because we use 4G network to communicate with CRM anyway. Whereas ESP32, yes, ESP32 and the modem need to have consistent power. So if the customer wants to have it only through mains, I don't need to install BMS, battery management system, and I don't need to use anything like charging for it, which is simplifying and lowering the cost. At the moment, I would say that the cost itself, even if I would count it as I paid £20, let's say, for this, which was I think 1880 or something, and let's say this one was about £4, which was about 350. I have it since last year anyway, because I buy them, I use them for projects, and even more than ESP32, I buy buck converters. Yes, so I bought another 20, I think, of 3 ampere buck converters. And then this in total, let's say, will cost me about £30 plus some sort of enclosure. Yes, and how much work it is? Well, if you just do one and you need to connect it with CRM from scratch, it will take you a few hours. If you've got already code done at CRM and it's working, then the next customer, what I will do is I will just use the sketch. I will add the code, fill in the fill in the token, and that's me. So if I would have on the bench new and I would start it now, it's minutes. Yes, so probably with assembly, with everything and testing, let's say even half an hour, that won't be a lot. And the cost is, let's say, 20 to 30 pounds. Yes, well, 20 is the modem and then ESP32 and then enclosure and cabling and everything. Whereas if the battery will be, let's say, £5 and BMS another few quid, this can go to 40 or 50 pounds as well. But this is allowing our customers to use their own SIM, which they can decide not to use with us. They can move out, yes? So we don't restrict the customers with us, whereas we give them a freedom to leave at any time. That's why our offer at Inte.Team is unique, yes? So you see, you can build yourself a modem. You can use Claude or Gemini or some other chatbot, yes, like ChatGPT, Grok or whatever, and they are able to write for you the tests, yes. What I would suggest with is that those modems are different, okay? So my suggestion would be to first try to connect this modem. It has micro USB port, and I would first try to use that port via USB so that the LLM can communicate with it and check how to operate it. Because even though you might be finding materials online and try to do it, these are not accurate. Then you're frustrating yourself. You will be sitting in Android Studio or something, and you will be scratching your head. So those bots are far better because they can quickly iterate on issues. So what I'm always doing when I'm working with the hardware, I'm splitting into several modules. So here I would have 3 modules. One is the CRM, yes, alone on its own. So it has to be capable of receiving signals via this modem, and ESP32 has to connect it, yes, by providing the firmware for it. So I would first test the modem. Then when I know I've got communication with a modem, I can send SMS, receive SMS. Then I would move on to connect to ESP32 and make sure I've got communication. I can write sketches and read sketches from ESP32. Then I know ESP32 is working and I know the modem is working. And already bugs which I will find on the way I can remove, or if I don't understand them, Cloud can remove them, yes? Then when I can connect them, then you just need to remember that TX, which is transmission, and RX, which is receiving, because those are transceivers, you should cross. So that means you shouldn't connect them like that. You should connect them like that. TX on RX, TX on RX, not the same way, because they wouldn't be able to connect. And if there are issues with communication, what you can do is you can pick like 16 or 17 GPIO, the pin, yes, and connect 16 and 17 together, and you can try to ping yourself, yes, so that you will see the loop is closed and you've got communication. Then you know the ESP32 is working fine, and then you can move on to the 4G modem to try to speak with it. And remember about the capacitor, to add that boost, yes, so that when you send the message, it's just not dropping with the voltage and cannot send the message, because you will stuck in this problem. So next thing is, when you've got it, now you can solder VCC, like I've got 5 volts, permanently, yes, use that capacitor as a boost, and you need that antenna for good reception, okay? And then when you've got this communication, then you can decide what you want to do with it. But it's working like a charm, yes? So this way you can have for SMS purposes, and you can have it for WhatsApp verification. This way you can use for your own business or whatever purpose you want. I don't know, maybe you build vending machine, maybe you build those toy picking machines, yes? But you can use this way. Do you have to use this? No, you don't have to. You can use old Android smartphone, yes, as long as it's not bricked, as long as the screen is somewhat working and the battery, you know, still holds 20% of power. You can use Android phone. This would skip you several things, but you need to keep only one thing in mind. The app which you will write has certain priority, so it can be off default by Android. You need to learn how to make it permanently on, because the apps have priorities, and you need to have like a forefront app which will bypass default Android behavior, yes? And that's the only thing which you need to do. That's why we know it, because we work with those devices here, yes? Whereas newcomers, they don't. So guys, that's all I wanted to tell you. It's a longer video than usually, 16 minutes. But thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.